Hit record and press play.
Do I hit record? Is that what I do?
Not.
It's a great start, guys. All right. This is a disaster. A podcast about disasters and the music they make us listen to. I'm here. Oh, well, I'm Peter, first of all, and I'm here with my co-host, Lee.
Hello.
And our special guest, Nuclear Norm.
Hallo, which is hello in Dutch.
Hello.
Continuing the trend of never replicating a hello. Also, this is what Norm looks like if you've never seen his face. I think you've seen ours.
That's probably what it looks like.
So if you're here, some of the marketing worked.
Yes.
We are doing, and if you just stumbled across this stream, which is clearly something that we do all the time, look at all the cables on the floor. The motivation for this stream is I talk about Doom a lot. It's fucking awesome. For mental health, I don't know if it's a Canadian thing, but at the very least in Canada and perhaps other parts of the world, there's the phenomenon of Movember, where men grow mustaches in support of, originally it was just men's mental health that expanded to include testicular cancer and prostate cancer, but basically it's a month to fundraise, raise awareness, and fundraise for those causes. You'll see a link that I posted in the chat to my team where you can donate, and there's going to be various opportunities to donate during this stream for things that will come up that we'll discuss. Norm, are you taking a selfie?
I'm trying to.
Cool.
It's hard.
Great. Love the focus. I'm just talking. So what we're going to do, we're going to play Doom. Nuclear Norm's going to give us a disaster. I'm going to speak about it in a distracted way, which is probably not too different from our normal disasters.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be distracted, and I have no excuse.
That's just your baseline. It's
Exactly.
not paying attention. What?
Huh?
Sorry, what?
Is that right?
What?
Oh.
But I thought maybe before I get started, I'll talk a little bit about really why I thought, I was talking about how Doom is awesome, and it's basically been part of my life for the large majority of my life. Played the original game when my dad brought it home in 1993. It was amazing, hooked me instantly, influenced everything throughout my life, all the way up to during the pandemic when the last game came out. I would spend a lot of time streaming it. I think, Lee, you would agree. I played it like it was my job. I think I got to a level where maybe the only people better than me were people that were actually getting paid to play it.
The people who figured out a way to monetize their hobbies.
I wasn't on that yet. We weren't streaming Grandmasters yet.
No.
So,
like today.
But anyway, while I was doing that, I remember a stretch. We were talking about this right before we started recording. There was a moment where I felt like I really needed to master the game. There was one encounter in particular, and I would play it over and over, and I would stream for anybody that wanted to watch. And at the time, our friend Dirk was really into watching those streams, and he watched like every second of me beating my head against the wall of this one level, trying to master it. And unfortunately, I think it was a year later, we lost Dirk. And he's been my motivation for continuing the mustaches through Movember. He loved a good mustache.
Handlebar.
Usually handlebar. I've been banned from the handlebar. I did it 1 year. And Gary said, "Okay, you can do the mustache, just not
the
that
handlebar.
one ever."
We're not on a ranch.
So we compromise. So big part of the motivation is Dirk. That's why Doom. That's why this live stream. And in terms of antes, I suppose, because I'm trying to come up with ways to raise money in the context of playing the game as well. I think in light of the fact that with the previous game, I spent like 500 something hours on it, and dying was a rarity. This one, I'm gonna play it on the hardest difficulty, which is Nightmare. And to start, I'm gonna say that every time I die, I'm going to donate $20 to my campaign. I was talking about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep track of it. I feel like I could probably get through the whole game on 5 deaths if I'm distracted.
Okay. Let's see.
So I think that's what I'm going to do.
I wish we had a whiteboard. Just sort of
Well, I've got a post-it note here.
Well, that'll have to do.
I'll keep track of that.
We'll keep you honest.
Trustworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, as we go, things will come up. I was thinking various dollar amounts for various things. There's a setting in the game where you can increase the game speed. So maybe $5 or $10 or something bumps it up 10%.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Maybe see how the first couple levels go. See if you want to interact. There's a chat that you can hit us up on. Basically, if you came for a nice, polished live stream experience, you came to the wrong place.
Yeah.
But if you came for fun, that's what's up. So I think I might start playing, and at some point, Norm's going to start talking about disasters.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe this is the part that I didn't really. I
Yeah, how do
visualized.
you how to transition?
I visualized a lot of how this was going to go. Didn't know how this part was
Except for
going to
the
go.
smooth transition into
So,
video gaming and ignoring it.
Other
So,
reason that we're doing it this way, I had like 3 webcams and 2 of them failed, so now it's just one with all of us. But I feel like that also embodies a little bit of the spirit. I was motivated by sleepovers where you'd come over, huddle around somebody's computer, and just watch them play video games and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be part of it. And so now I'm just going to turn around
Yeah.
and start killing demons.
All right.
Okay. See you later.
And okay, bye. I may not talk to you anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the people's work and ask, when the hell are we getting new episodes?
Oh, for
Ah.
well,
Like, I
The
did my
Vox
part.
Populi.
I recorded an episode a year ago.
I think we can.
well, thanks for coming, Norm. It's been fun. The live stream is over.
Yeah, and the door is. that
I've
way.
also I consulted with everybody else that was here, and they said we're skipping cutscenes. So I'll give you the short version. There's a demon invasion on this world populated by the Sentinels. They're humans.
Halt, mutant.
You're a weapon. Okay, shut up. I'm just gonna shut up in 3, 2,
Shut up,
1.
shut up,
Go for it.
Anytime anyone says Sentinel, I just think X-Men.
Oh yeah.
All right, bring it on. What are
All
we
right,
talking about
so-
today, Norm?
Okay, well, we'll get there. So the moon, right, about 4.5 billion years ago, after the solar system
Did
was
you say
formed.
the moon?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're
We're
getting there.
getting
Good,
back
good.
to the.
Okay, so the moon
Uh-huh.
was formed about 4.5 billion years ago when a Mars-sized protoplanet that we call Theia is believed to have collided with the Earth. And if this actually happened, this would have been the largest collision in history.
Right.
And we talked about large collisions in an episode that has not been released yet, but was recorded many months ago.
Hey, shut up.
The resulting ejecta from this collision formed our moon.
Ejecta.
Yep. But this is kind of a somewhat uncommon way for moons in the solar system to form, and because it's kind of uncommon, this is why our moon is huge relative to our planet.
Okay.
It's about a quarter of our Earth's diameter, 3,474 kilometers, and it is the largest and heaviest moon relative to its planet.
Huh.
Yeah, interesting.
How sound? Like I've heard that.
Yeah.
How sound is that theory? Would you say? Is it,
It's pretty sound.
Pretty sound.
There's probably other theories, but
I'm not
well,
disputing
yeah.
it. I'm just curious.
yeah, there's like
I've
some
only
like,
ever heard
yeah,
that.
There's kind of like no evidence
I've got
that
my own thoughts on that.
counters that.
I've done my research.
That's next week.
That's no moon. Is that your the
Moon,
thoughts
no
that you had on
moon.
it?
Yeah.
So the moon stabilizes the Earth's tilt, giving us a really stable climate.
Yes.
And also importantly, it creates tides.
Nice.
and interesting
For
about thing about-
plankton.
Tides is that the in and out high and low tides create this dynamic intermediate tidal zone between land and water.
That's what I was going to say.
And it's actually really interesting because that's one of the very unique things that helped life transition from sea to land. The fact that there's this
Water.
intermediary area where
Water.
stuff would flow onto wet land. You know, you
Right.
kind of survive, and you could have this
These fish are just like.
it's like a selection pressure
Also, what's a fish?
that kind of loud evolution of life on land, which we discussed in episode 17. We Are Alone.
I was going to say that.
One of my
Yep.
favorites.
Yeah, and you knew that one off the top of your head too.
Sure.
So, fun fact: the moon is actually moving 3.8 centimeters a year away from us.
Come back.
Yeah, we actually measure it by mirrors, laser reflectors that are put on the moon by the Apollo missions that we just fire lasers at. and can just tell that it's
Man.
going further away.
Lasers.
Yeah, lasers, Apollo.
Stanley Kubrick helps with that. I'm assuming.
That's the monolith.
Oh yeah, right.
And since this is a live episode, NASA will be returning to the moon in April 2020. Sorry, they are going to the moon for a flyby in April 26 with a Canadian on board. And then the program will be landing on the moon in 2027, 55 years after the last moon mission, which was 1972.
About
Oh.
friggin' time. What's the holdup?
I mean, there was not a lot to do on the moon until China decided they wanted to go there too, and then we're like,
Look at that.
no.
All it took was competition.
And what's interesting is those dates also coincide with when our next episodes will come out.
Yes.
Oh, I'm working on
yeah,
it.
we won't have
Jesus.
actually landed on, like, the moon flyby would have happened. You're like, oh, we're done. It's gone.
I'm busy.
Yeah, it seems like you're busy
doing good.
200 hours into Doom, whichever Doom this is.
Whichever Doom.
Hey, shut up. What's next?
Doom the moon. Didn't someone want to blow it up at some point?
Doom or the moon?
The moon. Or a portion of it. Some high-profile person.
Elon Musk. I don't know.
Getting close.
You heard it here first. A high-profile person to blow up out of the moon.
You know, I don't want to be accused of being a liberal again.
That sounds like
Oh yeah,
legit.
that's one of my favorite reviews.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
only conservatives want to blow up the moon.
I think so.
It's for the cheese.
Anyway, the moon.
For that sweet
The moon orbits the Earth roughly every 27 days in an elliptical orbit.
That's my favorite.
It's
Kind of weird.
when it approaches Earth at its closest distance in that ellipse, it is called perigee, and its distance is 363,300 kilometers.
Is apogee the opposite?
The furthest position is apogee, like Apogee software.
Got it. Big brain.
405,500 kilometers, and yes, you can fit all the planets between Earth and the Moon at apogee.
What?
What?
Yeah, there's enough distance where you put them side by side, get every planet, including Pluto, if you don't consider that a planet.
It's a planet. Pluto will
Fit
always
Pluto
be a planet
anywhere.
in my heart.
Put it in my pocket.
Yeah, so yeah, you can fit. It's that far away, but relatively
got it.
speaking,
Wowee.
it's not really that far away. Now, since the moon is so massive relative to the Earth, its gravitational pull has significant effects.
Right.
When the moon, the side of the moon that is facing the Earth, pulls on the water on the side that is close to it, we get high tides because the gravity of the moon yanks the water closer to it.
Gotcha.
At the same time, on the exact opposite side of the Earth, where the moon is not, the lack of gravity on the moon creates another high tide because there's no gravity to hold the water from spinning off the Earth. So you have high tides on both sides where the moon is and where the moon isn't, and then low tide is directly in between the two high tide positions.
okay.
This is why you get 2 high tides a day and 2 low tides a
low
day,
tides.
which is something I didn't know because all of us grew up in continental North America,
True.
where we don't have
Not
tides.
a
I'm
lot of
like,
tide and
I trust that the internet tells me there's 2 high tides a day, and I believe it.
Tides
trust
are
the
for
internet?
laundry.
yeah.
You're welcome, guys.
Yes. Thanks for the contribution. So, there's a special situation where a few times a year you will have a full moon or a new moon that will coincide with perigee. So, it'll be a new moon and perigee, and this is called the perigean springtide, also known as a supermoon.
I love
So the
those.
supermoon is you have the Earth, the moon, and the sun directly aligned, with the moon as close as it can be, giving you this amplified tidal effect.
Okay.
And depending on where you are measuring in the world, this can increase the tides up to 30 centimeters more than they would before normal high tides. This is like
Okay.
a supermoon high tide or king tide. They call it the spring tide, but not because it happens in spring. It's because the tides spring out more than they would. Very confusing, I know.
It's got to be a better way.
Yeah. Anyway,
Couldn't be any clearer, but it happens
yes,
in the
it's
fall.
the spring tide, you
And a
jerk.
very luminescent moon in the sky.
Anyway, fast forward 4.5 billion years. It's the 1950s. The United States has started a program called Project Plowshare, which we talked about in episode 20 on Chernobyl.
That sounds familiar.
Yes. The goal was to use nuclear explosives for peaceful construction
yeah.
and excavation purposes.
That was my favorite part of those episodes. We discover nukes, and it's like, I don't know, digging with them?
I totally agree.
Better than dynamite. I probably said that on that last episode.
If only there was some way to measure it in amount of dynamite.
Hey, there's a lot of that is discussed in a previously recorded episode.
Episode 20 and 21.
Oh, no, but we specifically talk about the TNT equivalent scale in one of the unreleased episodes.
Son of a... I get it. They're coming out.
So, in 1963, a proposal was presented to use 520 2-megaton nuclear explosives to excavate a canal across the Negev desert in Israel at the cost of $575 million, or $7 billion in today's money. This was obviously not implemented, nor was it ever really taken seriously by many reasons, because it would have involved 500 nukes on Israel.
Sorry, that's... Okay.
They don't like that?
And there's also you're not allowed to ignite nukes above ground anymore, or at all. It's probably not that great.
No.
Somebody should tell Trump that.
But the reason they wanted to excavate this canal was the Americans wanted a strategic American-controlled alternative to the Suez Canal. You see, the Suez Canal is one of the world's most strategically important waterways and locations. And as you guys discussed in episode 46.5, The Yellow Fleet...
I was going to say that.
Yeah. The Suez Canal is a man-made waterway connecting the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea, facilitating trade between Asia and Europe. Oh, God. Screwed up my slides. Oh.
That's not getting edited out, because we're...
Oh, yeah, there's no editing. So, yeah, as you guys mentioned in that episode, prior to the canal being made, shipping had to go around South Africa. Right. So that's the Cape of Good Hope, or where Cape Town is in South Africa. But in 1858, French diplomat Ferdinand de Lesseps, which you guys mentioned,
Yep,
he proposed there was viscounts and all this other stuff mentioned in there.
Second favorite kind of
viceroys and so on. Ferdinand de Lesseps proposed the creation of this canal through the western portion of the Sinai Peninsula, which was controlled by Egypt at the time.
There was a war over that, wasn't there?
We'll get there.
Okay. Sorry.
Partnering with the Egyptian government, they formed the Suez Company. And the plan was to build the canal over 10 years, starting in 1859, which they did, with tens of thousands of mostly Egyptian forced labor.
Right.
So,
There's a lot there.
Yeah, there was a lot of celebrations after that was done, but it was the 1800s.
Sure.
It was a different time.
So this would allow ships to enter the Red Sea.
Right.
Allow ships to enter the Red Sea via the Bab al-Mandab Strait, which is Arabic for the Gate of Tears.
Oh, okay. Why did it get that name?
No, I don't know.
No irony there.
But it's the point right at the corner of Yemen, Djibouti, and Eritrea, which is this major choke point to let ships get into the Red Sea, which will definitely be something that comes up later.
Okay, remember that. Beyond the test.
So they'll sail through the Red Sea and then north into the smaller Gulf of Suez, where they will then enter this man-made canal and go all the way to the Mediterranean. This trip would save about 10 days compared to sailing around Africa. So
Sweet
it's
deal.
definitely worth it.
Yep.
Enter Britain.
Enter Britain.
Like we're going to Britain, or
Yes.
Britain enters the scene?
Britain enters the sea because
Bye.
they oppose this.
Doctor.
They oppose this French-Egyptian project because the Brits controlled the Cape of Good Hope.
Right.
And if that route would be bypassed, they would lose everything that they had built around there for facilitating ships going through. And at the same time, they didn't want France to be controlling the quickest path to India for all the totally ethical reasons that the Brits were operating in India. And for context, this is generally around the same time that the Opium Wars were happening, and we discussed that in episode 45, Kowloon City of Darkness.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Where
You beat me to it every time.
the British They never look good in anything that we've ever talked
Scope
about.
of history.
Well, hold on. There was that one guy who tried to sail around the world. How did that go?
I'm pretty
He
sure
had the best of intentions.
Donald
What else?
Crowhurst. He was.
he definitely kept his mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yes, it was intact
Uh-huh.
through the end.
I
not
read all of
overextend
those
himself
journals, and I wish I hadn't.
So the British really tried to delay the construction of the canal by pressuring the Egyptian government to deny approvals, put as much red tape as possible because they didn't want anybody messing with their system. They actually backed an alternative to the canal, which would have been an overland route. So you would instead of yeah. I don't know if it was like you carry your boats, but it's
Have
like
you guys tried walking?
Yeah.
I think it's more that you unload and then you train across the other side and load onto another boat.
Okay.
Using rails.
more efficient.
So they would cast doubt on the engineering feasibility of the Suez Canal by having prominent British engineers speak up publicly against.
Just stand around being like, I don't know.
I'm not so sure about boats.
Have you heard my accent?
general as a concept.
They're on the way out, you know.
But as you know, being in the modern world and everyone being born past 1875, the canal did open, and it became obviously beneficial for facilitating trade throughout the world. In 1875, the Egyptian ruler at the time, Ishail Pasha, could not pay off the loans they took out for various infrastructure projects, and he was forced to sell the 44% stake in the Suez Company.
Okay.
And do you know who he sold it to? The British government.
The British.
Now they want it. It sucks until it's for sale.
I've got an idea. Boats.
Yeah. You guys heard about boats? They're great. They're like cars, but they go on water.
Yeah, it's great. So what's a car?
I think cars existed.
I think.
So at this time, in like the late 1800s, the Egyptian nationalist sentiments were rising. So the British did what they always do when nationalist sentiments rise in their colonies. They invaded Egypt in 1882, giving them they won, giving them de facto control of the country and effectively of the canal. That lasted through Egyptian independence after World War I. But the British still maintained control of the canal after that.
Okay.
So the canal was, after this invasion, was being operated by essentially a French-British-owned company, but it was super critical to Egypt's economy. So in 1956, Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized Canal, effectively saying, "We own this now because it's in our land. You don't own it, we own it."
And
Pretty flimsy argument,
solved
but okay.
the problem. Everyone went home.
The British, French, and Israelis set up a plan where Israel would invade Egypt, and then Britain and France would issue an ultimatum for both sides to stop fighting, with the assumption that they know Egypt will refuse.
Well, did they ask nicely?
And then they could use that pretext of Egypt refusing to stop fighting to invade, topple Nasser, and retake the canal.
Pretty sneaky.
Yeah. So in October 56, Israel invaded via the Sinai Peninsula, and that triggered a massive backlash. This is weird. Israel invading, Israel, Britain, and France invading a country, an Arabic-speaking country, triggering a massive backlash from, get this, the U.S. and the USSR, plus the United Nations. Because the U.S., USSR, United Nations, they were the new kids on the block, and they hated this neo-colonialism. This is old-school European stuff that we don't do that anymore. We're civilized.
No. We're civilized.
We don't just like go into countries and take them over.
Well, not again.
not a second time. Yeah. So the U.S. and the Soviet Union actually agreed on this topic that the British, French, Israelis shouldn't be invading, and they actually threatened to intervene if they didn't back off. So this was like a global humiliation for the British, French, and Israelis, and they were forced to withdraw in 1957.
Remember when being humiliated on a global scale meant something?
But interestingly enough, like historians actually consider this Suez crisis to be like really pivotal in the change of old world European colonialism where French and British ruled everything towards this new world order where the USA and USSR had all the power. Like that was kind of the shift in power in the Cold War to really ramp up into the new powers of the USA and USSR was this particular invasion. Some Canadian content.
We need that.
Yes, please.
CRTC demands
they'll fire us.
it.
Canadian External Affairs Minister Lester B. Pearson was the architect of the UN plan that actually ended this crisis.
Wow.
Essentially inventing the framework for modern UN peacekeeping
Man,
in the area. So
somebody
they basically
name an
said,
airport
like,
after that
we
guy.
will, as the UN, keep the peace.
Right.
He received the 1957 Nobel Peace Prize for this, and Pearson also became our prime minister after.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it was
in
before
case
that.
you didn't notice.
Leave it to Canada to
Yeah.
be like, guys, come on.
But obviously,
Our
peace
global policy. Come on, guys.
Peace didn't last. There was another war where where Israel invaded Egypt again in Six-Day War in 1967, trapping the infamous Yellow Fleet. And
I know about that.
yeah, you know what that one. And then ultimately, though, Egypt still maintained control of the canal up until like from when they stole it when they nationalized it until today.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so why is the canal like so important today? It's even more important now than it was back then.
Hey, Norm, before we get there, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Why is the canal so important now?
Compared to back then?
Compared to back then, especially, yeah.
Well, actually, right now, you notice that like you can just buy stuff from like China and it just like appears.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about 90% of all worldwide trade volume travels by boat, in some manner of speaking, because it's the cheapest way to move tons of heavy goods.
Right.
And they've tried cars.
Yeah.
I guess the British were wrong.
They tried boats and then moving those boats onto trains, but then they realize boats are boats.
Boats are boats.
I'm glad
a good
somebody
podcast.
noticed.
So the shipping containers, which they use to ship these things, are standard in size. They're standardized in imperial units.
Nobody's perfect.
Imperial.
8 feet 6 inches high, 10 feet wide, in either 20 feet or 40 feet long is the standard size of a shipping container. So there's two types, the long and the short one.
Right.
And depending on the size of the ship carrying these containers, there could be several thousands to tens of thousands of containers on a ship. And they really form like the backbone of our modern supply chain. Like every laptop you've bought was probably on a boat.
Yeah.
Because it's impractical to ship 1,000, 10,000 laptops by
Any other means?
donkey.
Pony Express.
About 30% of all shipping container traffic actually goes through the Suez Canal today. Like all shipping containers go through Suez Canal,
Right.
which equates to about 15% of total world trade volume. However, since the canal opened in 18 whatever I said, the USA has become the biggest economy, and it doesn't directly need the Suez Canal to get stuff to USA because stuff from Asia can go through other routes,
Right.
particularly the Panama Canal.
And also, they make everything there. So
Oh, of course,
point.
yeah. They're making
everything there.
shirts and iPhones there. Yes, the Panama Canal, actually another major disaster. The original designer of that was the same Ferdinand de Lesseps.
Really?
He came up with the idea.
Guys got one move. Why don't
Yeah.
we build a
Very one
canal
note.
But
through it?
the Panama Canal was so much more complicated and difficult than the Suez Canal, which basically the Suez Canal is basically flat and you cut it through. Panama was uphill. They didn't know about diseases. They all died, and his company went bankrupt before they finished it.
Okay.
So you can pick that one up in the future.
Let's do it. Let's finish the canal trifecta.
Yeah. So the Suez Canal does not directly affect the majority of worldwide trade, because the majority of it goes to America. But it does affect things in that any disruption in the supply chain, even through Suez Canal, can have trickle-down effects to other things, like if there is a delay in the canal and a shipping container and a boat is expected to be somewhere else when it's not, and then it can't pick up those items. And we have this thing called just-in-time logistics, where supply chains are designed to minimize inventory by essentially getting you the components as you need them, and you don't have to store things. And, you know, it's never failed us once.
Perfect. And never will.
So about $10 billion worth of goods per day pass through the Suez Canal. Yeah, which is, it's a lot.
Goods commerce.
The total length of the canal is 193 kilometers,
Okay.
120 miles, which is actually roughly the length that they wanted the line in Neom to be.
What's that? I've never heard of that.
Oh, you haven't heard of that? I forgot about it because it was so long ago that we recorded that episode.
I'm editing them.
Jesus.
So the
I'm busy. I've got this.
Dooms
Okay.
to play.
Dooms to doom.
So many dooms.
You will notice that we're recording an episode because I agreed to play Doom.
We're pretty good at that game, probably because of all the hours.
Not editing. I assume.
What's next?
So the canal is 193 kilometers long from Port Said on the Mediterranean side to Suez on the Red Sea side. It's actually broken up into sections. So there's a northern section that's about 90 kilometers. And that leads to the Great Bitter Lake, which is a natural lake that was always there. That's where the Yellow Fleet was held up.
Just really sore about being a lake.
There's also the Little Bitter
Guys,
Lake
I
as
wish it was a
well.
river. I want to see the world.
Sucks.
The Bitter Lake exists as a like a buffer, intermediate buffer waiting area that's almost directly in the middle of the canal. And then there's another section of the canal that was carved out on the south side that leads to the Red Sea. So a majority of this canal's history, the traffic was one way. So this lake really existed as a place where you would let other ships pass you on the other direction.
Okay.
But in 2015, the new Suez Canal project added a second channel enabling two-way traffic, but only in one section of the northern side.
Anyone call it the Nuez Canal?
They should have. And you know what? They actually used 10,000. They used tens of thousands, tens of thousands of forced laborers as well. They
good.
certainly did not.
They certainly not ready to laugh.
Yeah. So the canals themselves, the channels are 200 meters wide, 700 feet, and 24 meters deep, 80 feet. And they're not like rectangular, but they're actually trapezoidal, so it's kind of like flat bottom, and then it tapers up to the edges.
Okay.
And this is actually, at the time, they were like, yeah, this is going to be more than enough for boats to pass by. Now it's barely deep enough for a gigantic cargo container of ships.
How big could they possibly get?
Scrape.
The average transit time through the canal is 12 to 16 hours, and about 50 to 80 vessels can travel through daily. And this is coordinated by the Suez Canal Authority, the SCA. When ships enter the canal, 2 Egyptian Canal Authority pilots join the crew to help them navigate the intricacies of the canal. It's not particularly difficult to navigate, but they just want to make sure you don't make a mistake. So they're on there to give the captain some friendly advice.
I'm glad they're there.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm glad the captains universally respect them and listen to everything they tell them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sure.
So ships travel in convoys as they're going through the canal. They'll enter at very specific times, and then they'll kind of coordinate so that a north-south or northbound convoy will pass the southbound convoy exactly at the port where there's passing distances. So it's all this coordinated dance to get ships to go through
Love it.
perfectly.
Yeah.
In 2023, the canal generated $10 billion worth of fees for the government, which kind of dropped in 2024 for reasons we will discuss a little later.
Okay. Fees.
Yes.
Fees.
Oh, back in 2021. The Ever Given.
What?
The Ever Given is one of the world's largest container ships. It was launched in 2018. It's owned by a Japanese company. It's chartered by a Taiwanese container company called Evergreen Marine. and it's flagged out of Panama.
Okay.
And the crew in this case was all Indian,
Jeez, no fusion.
multicultural.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
a
You'll have to see it.
symbol of the world, or it's a symbol of where's the cheapest place to flag.
Symbol of the
and-
world.
Multiculturalism at its best. The Ever Given was 400 meters long, 59 meters wide, and capable of carrying 20,000 containers, which is a total deadweight tonnage of about 200,000 tons.
I was going to ask about the deadweight time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too. The weight of that is about the equivalent of 265 fully loaded 747s, or
Okay.
2/3 of the mass of the Empire State Building.
Awesome.
So the
Episode-
boat is about the size of the Empire State. It's as long as the Empire State Building is tall,
That's
Right.
cool.
and it's 2/3 the weight of the Empire State Building.
That's cool.
It is 1.5 times longer, twice as wide, and 5 times heavier than the Titanic was. And the Titanic sank,
Yeah.
and nothing will ever happen to the Ever Given.
No.
Uh-huh.
It's actually too big to fit in the Panama Canal. Like, it's too long to actually fit in the Panama Canal.
But
So it's kind of stuck
Screw it.
for other shipping. Non-Panama, I don't need to get a Panama.
non-Panama.
March 23rd, 2021, 7:41 a.m.
Uh-oh.
The
Now
Ever
there's
Given
times.
was passing through the southern single-lane portion of the Suez Canal heading north, so it had just entered the canal.
Okay.
It was the lead ship in the northbound convoy, which sets the pace for the convoy, so it's the most important ship for setting this pace. Weather forecasts indicated that a freak sandstorm along the canal would occur, and several ports actually closed due to this sandstorm, but the canal remained open.
I didn't know
And-
Darude was touring.
Yeah, I was going to say my song is not Sandstorm. The sandstorm did hit with winds blowing eastward at 40 knots, 75 kilometers per hour,
Thank you.
with extremely poor visibility. Now, the ship is packed with these shipping containers, and they're like above deck.
Yep.
So the shipping containers themselves act as a giant non-aerodynamic rectangle,
Okay.
creating a huge sail for big winds to push against. Especially if they're coming directly perpendicular to the direction that the ship is sailing. Sailing now. It's sailing.
Now we're
So the container acts as this giant ship, and it pushes the ship to veer towards the east. Now, high winds can cause this veering, and that's a thing that's normal.
Okay.
Maybe this was kind of a little extreme, but you know, believe it or not, boats are prepared for wind.
Are they?
Yeah. The one common way to counteract high winds is you actually increase your speed, because it gives your rudder and propeller a little bit more effect. So you get more control by going faster.
Okay.
But there was a little confusion on the deck between the captain, who was the Indian captain, and the two Egyptian pilots, who were the navigators. The pilots were arguing about whether or not they actually should be speeding up. Because we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
They were arguing in Arabic, but the crew only spoke Indian and English, so they didn't really know what was going on. So, like when the two guys that are supposed to be in control get on, and they're just yelling at each other in Arabic, and you're like, "Excuse me."
Can we all agree on?
So it created a real panicky situation.
Right.
Ultimately, the ship did accelerate. It accelerated to 13 knots, 24 kilometers per hour, which is much faster than typical for that shallow of a canal region, which they would
Okay.
typically go 8 knots, 16 kilometers per hour. And ultimately, the ship lost control, slamming into the canal banks.
Oh, no.
It wedged itself diagonally across the canal
Yes.
with its bow, which is the front of the ship.
Yes.
I'm not a boatman.
A boatsman.
I got a
The bow
license, I
got
think I
lodged into the canal eastern's bank. The stern lodged into the western bank,
Yeah.
completely blocking the canal in both directions. Because remember, this was in the single lane portion of the canal, totally blocking it. And the force of the impact, because it's windy, it's getting blown around. They're speeding up, and then it just slams ultra hard.
Right.
It shot the bow up 6 meters, 20 feet aground, so it was no longer in the water.
Right.
It was on land.
Ran aground.
Yes, that is the running around. So there were no injuries or damaged cargo. And they
God.
initially blamed this on human error or the sandstorm, but years later we kind of have a little bit better understanding as to what actually happened. So
Okay.
with a ship this big and massive, it displaces a ton of water as it pushes through the canal.
Sure.
And in physics, there's a principle called the Bernoulli's principle.
Love it.
Eureka!
Where the speed of a fluid increases, or as the speed of a fluid increases, the pressure decreases. So with this ship traveling through a very, very narrow canal, you have water going around it, moving very quickly.
Right.
And as the ship increases its speed, that water goes even quicker. So you have a low pressure region on the outside of the boat.
Okay.
And if your boat veers towards one of the banks, so one of the sides, let's just say it's pushed towards one of the sides, there's even less space for that water to move, so the water moves faster, creating an even lower pressure region, which effectively sucks the ship towards the bank, the wall.
Wow.
That
And,
sucks.
and this is called the bank effect.
Also, before we go much further, you got kudos in the chat for going from the moon to the Ever Given.
Yeah, when's that ever going to come back in? I just want to talk about the moon.
Quite, yeah. Bring the moon back. No,
So, yeah, the bank effect. So, a real life example, the bank effect is actually in your shower. So, air is a liquid in the case of.
Just let's leave
just
it.
yeah.
Air is in the case. Moving air is a liquid in the case of fluid dynamics. So when you turn your shower on, a bunch of air and water moves very quickly on one side of your shower curtain. There's not moving air on the other side of your shower curtain, and then your shower curtain pulls in to you.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why when you no? Well, I gotta say, no. Is that also why when you fart in the shower, it like propagates instantly? No.
Maybe.
It could be something to
Though it's
Can you
it's,
look into that?
it's possible we're in a no-win situation because if they just went slower, they had no control.
Sorry, with the
of,
farts or with the
With the boat.
Okay.
They had no control anyway of steering. They
Right.
would have just slammed into the bank anyway.
Right. It was
But they
lose-lose.
they were going faster to give them some control, but then it gives them less leeway to manage the bank effect, which they got pushed into the bank anyway and got sucked in for going too fast. The best situation probably would have just been to anchor and not go through the storm.
Aha.
But
Yeah.
something this bad had never happened, so them being like,
That's how you learn.
you know, this is going to cost us 4 hours. We can't afford that.
Yeah. 4 hours versus what could possibly happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure it got resolved quickly. Now, so the entire canal got blocked. And mentioned earlier that about $10 billion worth of goods passed through per day. So about $4 million per hour of goods were being delayed. And it costs the Suez Canal Authority $1 million per hour in lost fees because ships aren't going through. They're not paying fees if they're not going through. There were 15 other ships stuck behind the Ever Given in its convoy, so they just had to sit there. I guess they were they're floating in. They see what's going on up there, and they're like,
Boy, this is some shitty trade.
I just like to imagine the smaller boats see the lead ship swerving around. I'm like, well, he's the lead. They just start swerving.
Did the British ever come up with that alternative to the Suez?
They didn't.
Damn.
Told
It's
you.
like now that they're
Cars.
aground, there's a British guy standing there. It's like, wish you had a rail now.
Wish you listen to my great grandpa.
Yeah, so there were about 200 more ships waiting outside the canal to enter on either side. This is piling up. And obviously more and more ships pile up, and they got to this point when on the people coming in from the south where they had to make a call as to whether they want to wait,
Right.
continually queuing up for an unknown amount of time,
Divert.
or do the long way. The long way would take 10 extra days and cost $26,000 a day in
Ugh.
fuel.
Compared. Okay. That's around Cape Town.
Yeah. So
Old school.
you're sitting there like, is this going to take 10 more days?
No.
Couldn't possibly.
No. It's just the ship wedged.
How big is the ship?
The size of the Empire
of us.
Empire State Building?
Did they try
it's a-
reversing?
Yeah,
Did they try
no.
that?
I mean,
You know that
it
thing
also
when you
only
get stuck in a
weighed.
snowbank and you like rock the car.
Yeah.
Did they try
It weighed
that?
as
Must
much
move
as
forward to go
multiple hundreds of 747s.
Yes,
I don't know. The reversing forward thing. I remember when my dad taught me that. It was like a revelation.
Did you see Austin Powers?
The greatest scene.
The first responders to this disaster were the Suez Canal Authority tugboats, And they had divers that were also there to dive under and check that the hull was not particularly damaged. The tugboats failed to dislodge the ship.
Darn.
And the
Normally tugging it helps.
Yeah. the SCA was forced to, well, not forced. They hired Boskalisk, which is a Dutch dredging and marine salvage company.
Not a
Awesome
demon
name.
from
Is
the
it?
underworld.
So they were managed to manage the situation. Their assessment was this could take days to weeks to free.
Downer.
And shipping
not 10
companies, as soon as they heard this, they crapped their pants. They forecasted that the impact of like how much of delay through the Suez would be. A few days would be kind of manageable and they'll catch up, but a few weeks would be like catastrophic for the entire world economy.
Boys, Cape Town.
By the second day, March 24th, they had begun dredging, so that's digging underwater the bow and the stern out of the dirt, while tugboats continue to try to futilely pull it out.
Tugging it day and night.
They needed to dig 27,000 cubic meters of sand to create the clearance needed to swing the boat, which is 3,000 dump truck loads of sand. Wow.
You just do it one at a time. You get it done.
And
Slow and steady, boys.
about this time was where you get that meme photo of the single excavator trying to futilely dig out the entire Ever Given, and
Ever-loving fucking...
everyone loved it. So the ship was aground on both sides, but there was actually a real risk that it could snap in the middle, because just like the weight distribution. So as the days progressed and the pressure got the work pressure got continually mounting on the workers, they needed to pump the water out of the ballasts just to kind of displace additional
Just to seem busy.
weight. So they dumped 9 million liters of water, which is about 4 Olympic swimming pools, to reduce the weight. And then they also distributed 5,000 or 10 tons of water within the ballast to the back of the ship so that it would lift up.
Right.
Because it was heavier on the front than the
Gotcha.
back.
Yeah.
So they're trying to rebalance it so that they can eventually swing it out.
Slide back in.
Yeah.
Also, before we move on, I gotta ask. There's a SoCath 84 that said hi in the chat.
Oh, yeah,
The
never
only
heard of-
SoCath I've ever known.
Yes.
Is our
Don't know.
buddy
I don't know a guy that definitely broke his retainer biking from my house that was born in 1984.
I'm wondering if that was Ted.
It was
Anyway,
probably
go on.
Different guy.
Probably a different SoCath that was born in 84.
Different retainer.
I mean, it's
Fool me. I don't know what you're talking about.
But by the 5th day, progress was to the point where they actually seriously needed to consider taking the cargo off the ship. But this is like this part of the canal, it's like a desert, so there's no infrastructure to do this.
No.
So they're like, yeah, we can in theory take this off if you had massive crane unloading infrastructure that
Right.
happened to be
You had-
right here.
Roads and
So there was insane logistics
and
that never kind of came through. On the 6th day, 2 ocean-class salvage tugs arrived.
Tug is always good.
These tugs
These are
are
some
the
serious tugs.
most powerful.
Some powerful tugs.
They're the
huh?
most powerful tugs in the world. They're designed to last extremely long without
so glad.
refueling.
It writes itself.
They're meant for towing
about that.
towing oil rigs and barges across oceans.
Okay.
So they can do it. They're powerful.
Right.
On March 29th, they partially freed the ship around dawn with the help of these power tugs. But they couldn't finish the job.
Couldn't quite finish.
They couldn't quite finish the job. They needed
That's frustrating.
they needed to wait until 11:30 a.m. for the
time.
perfect moment.
When Indiana Jones can find the map.
Yep. He presses the. You see, at that exact moment, that exact moment coincided with the supermoon perigean springtide,
Oh yeah!
Circle.
Perigee.
which would raise the water levels an additional 46 centimeters,
amazing.
18 inches, giving them the additional depth they needed to swing the boat out.
You planned this.
So with the combined efforts of 2 ocean tugs, 11 SCA harbor tugs, and the moon, they freed the Ever Given by 3:05 that day, towed it to the Great Bitter Lake for inspection, and traffic resumed at 7 p.m. that night. So the economic impact of the 7-day closure of the canal, delaying $10 billion of goods per day, delayed about 0.1% of the world's GDP, and the SCA lost about $14 million a day in tolls that they would have had. A significant portion of the ships that go through the Suez Canal is oil. So that caused oil prices to spike by 4%. But by April 3rd, so basically 5 days after they reopened, the SCA reported they had cleared the backlog of 422 ships. So they kind of caught up after that. But it wasn't really all clear, necessarily. But we'll get to that in a few seconds here. You might be wondering how many ships actually took the long way around.
Norm, before we get there, can we get a tally of the ships that decided to take the long way around?
No one knows.
Okay.
Unknowable.
About 27 ships decided to take the Cape of Good Hope route, which added 1 to 2 weeks of sailing to their trip and significant fuel costs. And ultimately, since it took 5 days to pass and then at most 5 more days to clear, it probably wasn't worth going the long way.
It was a gamble.
It was. Sometimes you win, and other times you lose the Game of Thrones.
Very relevant.
And like this blockage couldn't have happened at a worse time. If you remember, this is the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
Where the supply chain was stressed because everyone was ordering work-from-home laptops and webcams and microphones and whatever we were doing at that time.
What were you doing?
Probably something to do with those tugboats.
It's insane. Like I think like a 12-year-old when the pandemic started would be like 18 now.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess we're seeing the
Still
results
feels
of that.
very recent, and I don't want to think about that.
Not a whole lot of eye contact going around these days.
Yeah, so like there was already a shipping container shortage because of COVID masking mandates, which slowed down ports themselves, and all these like conditions on getting ships in, passing quarantines, and so on. So everything was already deemed super tight.
Right.
Inflation's going crazy, and then this big thing happens. And the interesting thing was the crews on these ships were already working way beyond their contracts, because they couldn't just go home, because remember, this is 2021. If you go home, you have to quarantine for 3 weeks in a hotel. Right. So you might as well just stay on a ship for the rest of your life.
Boys.
Is like, well, you might as well get paid, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But even after they clear the backlog of ships, that doesn't just like everything's not all good, because then the ports get backed up because all those ships go somewhere.
Right.
They all go to the port at once. The port, they're expecting certain cargo to come at certain times. That gets all scrambled up. So there was like an uncounted number of errors where containers ended up in the wrong place. And there's massive knockoff effects where you expected the Ever Given to be picking up stuff at location B, and it was delayed. We'll see how long it was delayed for.
Would it be safe to say that we could trace the fact that everything sucks to this one event?
Probably.
Okay.
It's like this in World War I.
Those are the big two. Well,
World War I, and
Fast
I didn't
forward.
get my laptop.
The Ever Given was ultimately detained at the Great Bitter Lake by the Egyptian authorities on April 13th. They seeked $916 million in damages.
That seems fair.
Yeah.
someone's got to pay.
Yeah. They eventually reached a confidential settlement, which is always annoying for us because we want to know how much they actually paid.
It was a dollar amount.
So the ship was released on July 7th of that year. So it eventually got to Rotterdam, where it wanted to go, 4 months later than it planned with all its cargo. Other carriers who had fleets delayed sued Evergreen, but they ultimately settled 2023 for an undisclosed amount.
Ugh, lawyers, am I right?
I know, they are the worst.
Absolute worst.
Yeah, but like, you kind of mentioned this earlier, though. Like March 2021, everyone was chronically online due to the pandemic. Yeah. You know, we had the January 6th Capitol riots. Like that was just months before this.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's on edge with fake news, depressing stories everywhere you turn, economic turmoil,
on fire,
Weirdos
riots.
putting 500 hours into a video game.
Yeah, it's just disturbing. But this one news story got everyone interested because it's easy to understand.
Yes.
You don't need to understand inflation or who's shaman is who, but
You ever got your car stuck in a ditch?
yeah, and like there's just so many hilarious memes of that one excavator. And the website was created called isthisshipstuck.com that would track the status of the Ever Given, and you can still go there today and see exactly the GPS location of the Ever Given and where it's picking up stuff and dropping it off. So
Interesting.
yeah, pretty neat stuff. The future of the canal.
Unrelated, guys. I totally thought I would have died by now, so I haven't
not
raised
one
too
yet.
much money for myself.
I think you should.
If anybody would like to see this game 10% faster, let's call
It'll
it
cost you
$10
$10
for Movember.
I'll donate 10 for
Oh,
that.
for fucks! This is
You
one
know
of the
what?
hardest rooms.
I'm actually going to donate 20.
Oh, that's two fasters.
God. Okay.
Who's too fast, too furious
I
now?
shouldn't have brought it up.
Maybe I'll
because
donate 20 and we'll go like 40.
This is one of the rooms that I usually eat shit in.
Okay, so
When
we're
I'm
going
Yeah.
40% faster.
Are you okay? You're
Yeah, Lee's
I'm
donating
good for
20.
I'm good for 20.
Oh,
He's donating a Queen's bill. One Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, one
I'm
Liz.
just gonna write that down so I don't forget. Norm is a jerk.
I owe you.
I owe you.
And Lee is a jerk to the tune of $40 total. All right, I picked a good time. I'm about to donate at least another $20. 'Cause
I
I'm
mean, the
gonna die
good
twice.
news is I'm on the end of this disaster almost.
Okay,
So
well-
if you don't die, I'll just speak really slowly.
Just enough time
So
to
the
die.
future.
Let me just make sure that actually is stuck. 140%.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it look fast?
Oh, good lord.
Kind of looks kind of slow.
It's
Yeah.
So of
it's eternal
course,
speed now.
the future of the canal. Where do we go? They don't need roads in the future because they never had roads because that's dumb British stuff.
Right.
Of course, the Ever Given was not the first, nor was it the last ship to get stuck in the canal. In 2023, there were at least 5 incidences where ships were grounded due to mechanical issues that either totally or partially blocked traffic, but they were kind of all resolved in a matter of a couple hours.
Okay.
So it was never that bad.
It was never the biggest amongst
Yeah. And most of the ships were smaller than the Ever Given, except for one time the MSC Istanbul, was such a similar side to the Ever Given, got stuck. But it actually got stuck in the 2-lane segment. So it actually was not that bad.
down to one lane.
And it definitely wasn't wedged diagonally in a comical manner. In December 2024, they completed a 10-kilometer 2-lane extension on the southern half of the canal.
Okay.
And they also widened the canal by 40 meters and deepened it to kind of give a little bit more leeway for this bank effect.
Wide lane.
Yeah, wide lane,
So
double
luxurious.
lane. I know. It's still not 2 lanes all the way, so there's still major choke points, but you know they're working on it.
Something.
The Canal Authority also ordered more emergency tugs. Wait for laughter.
Emergency tugs.
And their own heavy dredging capability
What
to
would
be
the
on
emergency
site.
be? Never mind.
But
Unrelated,
since,
guys. I got to take a break.
Since 2023, traffic through the canal has dropped massively because of the Houthi attacks in the Red Sea have caused essentially no one to want to go through there. So the Houthis have been attacking any ships entering the Red Sea because of the definitely not controversial Israel-Palestine-Gaza conflict.
Oh boy. Hot button topic.
No opinion on that.
Data indicates that traffic went down 50 to 70%.
Wow.
With essentially all ships choosing to take the Cape of Good Hope. So the British are your great-great-great-grandson is getting his money back.
Yeah.
I told you.
The SCA has actually offered temporary rebates to lure large container ships through the canal. But it's kind of not really worth the risk, and Egypt can't really do anything because all this hostilities is out of their control, really.
Not worth the risk, other than you will definitely get attacked?
Yes.
Or is that the only...
Like, there's a chance you won't get attacked by the drones that these are slamming into your ships. But if you're a freighter ship charter now and you want to choose to go through there to take account of this discount, you pay a higher war risk insurance. Because there's a chance you may get sunk.
Boy.
So you're saying...
Well, to be fair, that's something you probably want.
Yeah. And that is actually the end of the canal.
Oh,
they
boy.
exist, and Peter has not died yet. Actually, I haven't been watching. I don't even know what's going on your
I'm
screen.
very
been
good.
watching.
Yeah.
Reading.
Yeah, so that's that, and of course I have music for this.
Yes, please
Yeah.
bring it on.
Yeah. So in the previous episode on the Suez Canal, you picked a band at the time, semi-randomly, because it just happened to be what you were listening to at the time. And I was going to pick this band, and it turned out to be the same band that you had picked for the previous Suez Canal episode.
Look at that. Great
So I
vibes.
was like, all right, I'm picking the band. My band is the Dirty Nil.
Oh, nice.
They are a Hamilton, Ontario-based
They sure
punk
are.
band.
Yeah.
And the album, 2021's Fuck Art, released a couple months before this Suez blockage. And the song is Doom Boy.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
I like it.
I was thinking of that the whole time. Yeah.
Fun
you go.
fact, some people in this room have played with the Dirty Nil.
Me?
One people has played with it.
Yeah. There you go.
That's cool.
That's
Dirty
cool.
Nil, great guys.
Great band.
Fuck Art.
Fuck art.
I do. That's very on brand.
I know you thinking of songs. And Peter having to think of a song while he's playing.
I think I've got one
part of the
just
fun.
because I recommended it to a friend recently.
Okay.
But Lee, should I go next or do you want to go?
No, if you have one.
So for me, it's the song. Hold on.
Don't die. Don't die. Jump left.
Thinking, thinking while tugging.
black.
I mean, playing Doom.
Punch. There's your chance.
Payback by Slayer.
Oh, okay.
Because
Bitch, motherfucker.
like, yeah.
It's a song by Slayer.
No, yeah, it's a song by Slayer. It feels like, for me, it's the perfect song to embody all those ships stuck behind the giant ship. The reason I recommended it is 'cause it's like in my mind, it's one of the angriest, most like spiteful songs there is. Perfect song for freaking the fuck out in traffic. So yeah. Payback's a bitch, motherfucker.
No.
According to Slayer, I've heard.
According to...
So they're stuck in the traffic jam in the
They're stuck in the traffic
in
jam.
the office space, slamming the steering wheel.
Freaking out to Slayer. That's my song.
All right.
And we're also
I'm all
reaching a
for
natural
freaking
ending
out to
point
Slayer.
because I'm getting close to the end of this level.
Okay.
Go on.
Well, I picked the group is called Praxis. It features Bill Laswell, Brain, and Buckethead on guitar.
BH. I know Buckethead from other disasters.
Yeah. The song is called "We Are Not Sick Men," and that doesn't really figure into the theme of the show, but
I think if anything, this episode has demonstrated that
well, could be, yeah, maybe.
Nothing fits.
But it's the sound of the song itself was a very slow, drudging. Like, it's basically, if you picture Jaws, but on guitar, like, dun, 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 and it just kind of plods and plods. and there's also this funny like cracked sounding guitar leads over top, and it starts and it stops and it starts again. It just reminded me of this awful like a boat stuck in a canal. And the drudgery of that. So it's from the album Metatron. It came out I think in 1994. I think really cool.
Primary Angel.
It's pretty cool. And I guess you're not hearing any of these songs.
Not hearing
because
shit.
First of all, I'm hyper focused on the game at 140% speed, and also because I guess copyright strikes are a thing on YouTube.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
You want to know a really funny story about Peter and Doom?
Yes, please.
So Peter had an extremely powerful video card before he bought this old computer.
Funny for nerd. Okay, go on.
And he also bought an extremely expensive monitor that
Nothing but the best.
it's supposed to be 160 hertz refresh rate.
Have I wronged you, Norm? In some way?
So if you have a really, really good video card and a really high refresh rate monitor, you can run the game at 160 hertz, and you can see 160 frames per second. You can physically see 160 frames per second.
Right.
But your monitor has a setting where you need to like tell it to use that refresh rate. Otherwise, it's just going to run at 60, which is what your TV is running at.
Oh, okay.
So no matter how good your video card is, you will only see
junk.
60 frames per second.
Right.
And we came down, and I was like, "Hey, Peter, why is your monitor saying 60 frames per second?" And we realized the entire time for the years he's owned that computer and monitor, he was gimping himself of so many frames.
That sounds like
There's
me.
another way to spin this story.
Do you want to hear the real version?
That's accurate. Everything Norm said is accurate. I have nothing to say. I am an embarrassment. But despite handicapping myself and seeing not nearly as many frames as I could have, I still beat Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare, and I beat the expansions on
Yet
Ultra
another
Nightmare,
handicap.
and I beat the Masters levels on Ultra Nightmare. And only after I had done all of that did I learn that I could have been doing it much easier.
The second we turned it on, you're like, "Oh, that's a lot
That's
smoother."
the game.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like as smooth as it looks now on your monitor with the accurately portraying refresh rate.
Oh, that stinks.
Sass.
It's like, why did you bother living those years of your life?
Verbatim.
That was a pandemic.
That was
Yeah.
a pandemic.
Like that after that was the worst part of the last 5 years, and I'm including the pandemic. Anyway. So
it's a Doom story.
Thanks everyone for I'm gonna be confident. I'm about to destroy this guy. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Oh my god. For tuning in. Thanks Norm for that disaster. Thanks Norman Lee for making this game very difficult right now.
No.
You should have done that earlier.
Yeah.
Actually, instead of waiting for
next time we'll do it
halfway
up
through the
front.
last level.
Last level of this stream. So every Wednesday we're going to be doing the same thing, another disaster every single time. Don't know if I think Lee's got one that he's going to do. I think
I'm on deck for next week.
I think Gary's going to be back with one.
Oh, geez.
All right.
So that's going to be one, and then Norm, if you want to come back,
I don't have anything to do. I'll hang though.
Sweet. Norm hangs so that there's no dead silence while I'm focused on
Whereas Lee's saying these great lines and the Peter's like sweating down his brow because we've donated $60. Question: Does the donation speed boost
Yeah.
continue?
It does not. We're going to reset every time.
okay.
Otherwise, well, there's an upper limit. I think you had
Yeah.
me bumped to 140 and it's 150.
So
Well, because then there's no other. That
I think you
seems to be the best.
just proved that this baseline is totally fine.
I'm very good at this game. What can I say?
We'll see how good.
The answer is very. if I had to list my skills, Doom is near the top. Cool. So thanks for joining us. That was a live stream. That actually went pretty well. The live stream itself was not a disaster. The
No.
disaster was a disaster.
When we listen to it back and there's like a massive echo and the picture's glitching out.
Nobody's been yelling at us. And if anything, I can see John is in the chat and he said, ha ha ha, yes, which I'm assuming is in response to the stupid video.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we can talk about the little film that goes on a heat sink on top of the
boy.
CPU and how you're supposed to remove it. And everybody in this room has every time they built a computer, and there have been no issues as a result. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. That was a disaster. We're going to be here next Wednesday again, 8:30 p.m. EST. That's Eastern Standard Time, with another disaster. And I mean, unless we got anything else, Lee, you got anything you want to add?
No, I want to say thanks to everyone for tuning in.
Can
Cool.
you sing the song?
Oh yeah. Oh, I should have done that. Okay, next time I'm gonna have music cued so we can like do music in and then music out.
We learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, we learn, and maybe there'll be a little less chords on the ground everywhere.
What?
But yeah, thanks for
keeping
joining
it
us.
real.
I'm gonna wrap things up. John just said yep, which I'm assuming is also in response to the heatsink story. Shut up. Link to donate to the Movember campaign is at the top of the chat if you have access to that, so feel free to do that. I'm going to hold Norm and Lee to their donations, and then we'll see you next week, which is actually very nice to say
Yeah.
because it's been too long.
Been too long.
Somebody should edit those episodes, put them out at some point.
But who?
I don't even know what an episode is.
They're real good guys. They're going to come out soon. Okay, thanks for joining us. I'm going to stop the stream in 3, 2, 1. Bye.